part 2 of the 2-part series of bulking and cutting. Now we're going to focus on cutting. So when do you cut? Me personally, I usually start cutting probably right before springtime, because I like to just lean out a little bit for the summertime, because that's when you're more likely to be walking around shirtless at the beach. At least in my aspect, that's what motivates me to want to lean out a little bit more. What is cutting? Cutting is leaning out by controlling your calories and staying consistent with your workout, and slowly you start to lose your fat mass while minimizing muscle loss in that process. So my number one recommendation to everybody, and I know sometimes it'd be a little tedious, but you should really be counting your calories. I use my MyFitnessPal app, and again, just like I said in the bulking video, the easiest way to get a starting caloric range, if you're a woman, take the number 10, multiply it by your body weight in pounds, then add or multiply it by your activity factor, which in most cases is 1.3 to 1.4 is where the majority of the population falls under. For men, same exact thing, but it's 11 times your body weight in pounds times your activity factor, 1.3, 1.4. From there, subtract that total number, subtract it by around 300 calories, and start with that number. That number, obviously, there's no cookie cutter approach to dieting, so this is just me helping you out by getting a starting number to start your journey. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to get at least 1 gram to 1.5 grams when you're cutting of protein per pound of body weight. 20 to 25% of those calories coming from fat, and the rest allocated to carbs. And you're going to try to hit your macronutrients and your calories. And you're going to observe the week by week process of what's happening to your body. Or if you're losing weight way too fast, then that generic formula I just gave you, it was probably too much for you. So meaning that it was too much of a deficit for you. So you want to add some calories back in. You should be aiming for about 2 pounds a week. Aside from the first week, which you can lose a lot of water weight, you could lose up to 5 to 10 pounds in 1 week in some cases. But consistently around 2 pounds a week. And you want to make sure sometimes you have to increase your calories when you're cutting. Make sure you're not losing muscle mass with fat mass. So once you have that tailored in, you start to dial in. And that's not a static process. Once you get your calories, it's not going to be the same throughout your whole journey, because you're going to stall and you're going to need to change it. So it's a dynamic process of staying on top of your nutrition. That's the number one recommendation I can give you guys. If you do that, you're going to be amazed with your results just by doing that part. Next up is your training. So just like with bulking, I say you have to train heavy, and I recommend hitting everything twice a week. You want your low rep, high weight, and you want your high rep, low weight workouts for every muscle part, so you're benefiting from both ends of the spectrum. Again, with the post or the pre, intra, and post workout nutrition, when you're cutting, it's even more important because your calories are restricted. I recommend eating most of your carbohydrates before and after your workout, because that's when you need energy for it and recovery after it. You want to make sure you have your BCAAs intra-workout. Another tip is taking branched-chain amino acids in between meals to kind of get rid of some of that hunger you're having, as well as keep your body in a positive nitrogen balance, because you are cutting calories. And post-workout nutrition, you want something that's going to be fast-acting, so some iso whey, some waxy maize, or any type of really food-based carbohydrate you want to eat when you get home from the gym. So now some supplements to help you with cutting. So of course, you have your fat burners. Now, why is a fat burner going to help you? It's going to help with your mood, your focus. It's going to help with appetite suppression, and it's going to help as a thermogenic aid, which is kind of going to help increase the amount of calories you're burning at rest. You're also going to have your whey protein. Whey protein is crucial when you're cutting, in my opinion, because you have such little calories to work with. Sometimes it's hard to get your protein requirements in for the day. So I have sometimes around 4 to 5 scoops of protein a day, but that's going to be different for you because you're going to tailor your diet to your needs and have as many as you need to reach your protein goal. Branched-chain amino acids, I already went over, they're going to help you recover. They're going to help you stay and maintain that positive nitrogen balance, aka an anabolic state. I always recommend multi and fish oil to everybody. And if you're over 25, some type of test booster or hormone optimization can go a long way. So now some tips. For me personally, I always found it tough when I'm cutting because I'm hungry. So I always recommend eating foods that are rich in fiber and have some volume on your plate. What I mean by volume is, let's say you go to McDonald's and you get a small fry. It takes up enough, space that can fit your hand. But let's say that's 500 calories. Just saying it, I haven't looked it up. Meanwhile, if you had a lean meat and some vegetables on your plate, it could take up your whole plate, and now you have 500 calories in both hands, but what's going to fill you up more? What's going to take up more space in your stomach and prevent that hunger from coming back so quickly? So that's what I mean when I say eat high volume, high fiber foods. Eat most of your carbs or a good amount of your carbs pre and post workout. So this is when you really need them, and it's just going to be better put to use. Another thing is to sip on branched-chain amino acids throughout the day and in between meals. And I already mentioned the why. So those are the biggest tips on top of counting calories, lifting heavy, and being consistent, because you can't do this for a couple of days and fall off and expect to get the results that you want. So that wraps up our two-part series about bulking and cutting. And if you found this video informative or you liked it, please like the video, subscribe to our channel. Any questions or comments below, just go ahead and leave them. We'll address them later, and thank you for watching.